So it looks like Gaijin has been pretty busy updating the dev server, so much so that it now warrants a second dev overview video from myself. And there's been quite a few changes too. The new SPAA systems have gotten a somewhat nerf to what we saw earlier. We have a lot more premiums we're going to be covering. In fact, I would say about 80% of everything we're covering right now is going to be a premium vehicle. New features for existing helicopters, which kind of came to me as a big surprise. And of course, I now have direct access to some new vehicles, such as the F2A we'll be covering a little bit later in this video. But as always, before I do dive into the details, the specs of what we're doing today, please keep in mind, this is the dev server, and I'm often a potato. And when I said I often make mistakes, I wasn't kidding. In my last dev overview, I completely left out Britain. I had it numbered, right? So I have like intro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I would put the number sign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But I accidentally put the dollar sign on 5, which was Britain, which put it elsewhere in my folder, and I just didn't see it. I was in such a rush to get a video out and just. I'm so sorry, my British mains. I know Gaijin doesn't like you guys too much, but I promise I do. Okay, it was completely unintentional. But with that being said, do keep in mind still that I will probably forget something. I know there's probably going to be new features, new models. I haven't talked about the whole fuel dump stuff because in truth, that doesn't really interest me too much. Or maybe I might get something incorrect, in which case, let me know down in the comments. Feel free to throw an entire post if you want, talking about how either I missed something or maybe you want to educate the rest of us on it, including myself. Cool, cool. So with all of that now, I promise being said, let's get into the start of it. I'm going to organize this video a little bit, so let's go ahead and do a quick jump cut. Now I'm going to start off with the Russians because I feel as if this is going to affect them more so than any other nation's helicopters. Now, is this information accurate? Is it coming into the game? I personally have no idea. And let's be honest here, I'm not exactly well educated when it comes to these types of systems. So if you guys want to educate me and the rest of us, feel free to do so in the comments, but I'm going to give you the basic run through of what this is, which is DIRCM, or Directional Infrared Countermeasure Systems. And two very obvious helicopters that use this system happen to be the Mi-28NM and the Ka-52. More so this helicopter right here. As you can see, it has the IRCM block, but how it supposedly works, and don't quote me on this if you could, it basically points itself towards the direction of the threat, any sort of missile or whatever is coming your way, and it's supposed to throw a beam, like a dazzle of lasers at the incoming projectile to confuse or otherwise disarm the system. Now, how it works currently in the game that we all know is you really can't lock on this helicopter with any sort of IR system. If you take a Type 81 with an IR lock or a Stinger system, such as the Ocelot, and you were to try to aim at this thing, hell, even fixed-wing aircraft, it would basically throw your seeker head all over the place, IRCM or countermeasures in place, and you'd have to come in either really close at a certain angle or gun the aircraft. This is likely going to buff helicopters as a whole by making them pretty much impervious to anything and everything that's coming their way, minus autocannon fire and radar-guided missiles, assuming it works. And I'm going to be quoting Tech right here because he's the only one I really did see talking about this kind of stuff. It creates a 200-meter bubble around this helicopter, making it nearly impossible to get a missile lock on. And when I say missiles, I mean also Mavericks and other TV-guided munitions that might be coming this way. And I think that makes a lot of sense because if you take, say, a DSLR, a mirrorless camera or something, and you point it at an IR blaster, you can damage the sensor entirely to where you can blind the camera. And trust me, if you're a Sony user, it is not a cheap fix. Though I'm sure many helicopters will be getting this feature, though this is a very good example of what we are to expect. Does this have me excited? No. I mean, I don't think we need to buff helicopters even more, to be honest. Even more so the Ka-52 and the Mi-28NM, but I guess their rise to power will be coming back at some point. Oh boy. And up next, we have the Japanese. Now, unfortunately, I did not cover this in my previous dev overview video, and I'm going to do that right now, seeing that I finally have access to the F2. You see, if Gaijin doesn't put it right in front of me, I tend to miss some things, but not this time. Now, this is going to be interesting, and I'm really curious to know, before I start this, are you going to pick this up? I don't believe it's on sale just yet from the time that you're watching this, but if it is, are you going to be getting this? If so, why? If not, why? I'd love to know, because this thing is pretty much kind of like the American F-18 Premium, which, you know, is good. Don't get me wrong. I love fighting against them because they're very easy to kill. But when it comes to this bad boy, is it going to be worth it? Well, it does get AAM3s. I don't believe it said AIM-9 or AIM-9M, which I found unusual, but they are AAM3s. You do get AIM-7Ms. You get a bunch of dumb bombs, a targeting pod. Cool, right? You get GPS guided bombs, laser GPS. Is it? No. Not even that. You just get standard JDAMs. I'm sure at some point they're going to be introducing the laser variants of these, which would make a lot of sense. And the anti-ship missiles. Do these even serve a purpose? I know you can't really engage ground targets with it. And seeing that this thing won't be able to see vessels anyway, I did hear that there was going to be vessels in ARB, so you guys can destroy carriers from distances, etc. How efficient that's gonna work, I have no idea. I don't play ARB, so I look forward to seeing the videos on that. And of course, you get Zunies and everything else too, but really, this is just going to be an F-18 style premium, but I don't know. I'm still curious on what you guys think about this. Let me know, please. And then we have the Yukikaze. I'm sorry, I can't really pronounce that. Another premium. Yeah, it's another destroyer. I mean, Naval's getting a big update, so it kind of makes sense that we get more of this stuff. And that's honestly really it. Up next, we have, let me look at my list here. We have the Chinese, which is interesting. 2 new helicopters, the Z-10ME, which is 12.0, and then we have the Z-10A as a premium. You know, I knew this aircraft existed, the Z-10A, but I didn't think it was going to be coming in as a premium. I'm not too familiar with the ME, and I did take a quick look-see at this, and it's pretty much the exact same thing as you would find with the Tech Tree variant, AKD-10, AKD-9s. You want to use the 10 because of that juicy 1,400 millimeters of flat pen. There is nothing that can stop this, to be honest, minus APS, of course, and your accuracy as a pilot. Although 345 meters a second is still going to be, it's going to be a little painful to say the least. As for this bad boy, I'm very curious. Are these IRCM blocks? It doesn't even really say. It still gets the same firepower and the same loadout as you would find. At least currently, it might not be the same as you would find with the previous variant of the Z-10. I'm sure this has more, maybe more advanced missiles, perhaps more rockets or something, but still 16 TY-90s. Please tell me there's not like a T-90 or TY-90 Mark II or something. But I'm really curious what these blocks are. There's a lot more of them on here too, as you can see. This is, you know, pretty smooth for the most part, pretty rounded. This is very blocky, and I can appreciate that. So we'll have to wait and see on this. By the way, the model on this is so pretty. Look at that. Just, Gaijin, you guys are cooking with the level of details to this stuff. I'm not kidding. I love it. Well, this had to happen at some point. The MiG-29 Sniper. It's a Romanian MiG-29, which is interesting. I have yet to take a look into this, but yeah, I mean, when I first saw the MiG-29 in the game, I knew at some point Gaijin was going to bring in something as a premium, and we have finally reached that point. 11.74 GRB, which is interesting. What does it sit at air? 12.7? That's not absolutely terrible. What's it get for ordnance? R27 R1s. It gets R60 MKs. It doesn't look like it gets much in the way of other air-to-air ordnance outside of the ER1s, which are great, to be honest. I still enjoy these to this day. No R73s, so yeah, this is basically going to be the original MiG-29 that we got all those years ago. Oh, and I did miss something. Hold up. Does it get? No, it doesn't. Okay, I thought I was going to be getting like TV guided munitions, 29 TEs or something, which alone would have made this a worthwhile aircraft to bring out in GRB. But dumb bombs and S-24Bs, I mean, you can bring it, you can use it, but rest assured, you're likely going to run into a lot of anti-air, though at 11.7, you're not really going to be running into too many top tier SPAAs, at least not that I think anyways. But the question still stands. Are you going to be picking this thing up? Please let me know in the comment section, would you? I'm curious. And of course, we can't forget the RAH-66. The Comanche has finally gotten its it's needed buffs compared to when we saw it last time. It finally got its minimal RWR, apparently. It did also get its minimum IR signature as well. How true that is, I haven't tested it, but I've had plenty of you guys come up to me and say, yes, it finally got its defensive systems in place. And to add, Gaijin has finally given this thing its loadouts. Check it out. It got its Stinger missiles, which a lot of them, up to 16 of them. I heard supposedly it can carry up to what, 24 or even like 32 of them, which would be insane to think about. Imagine 32 Stingers. All you have to do is just throw them at the guy and he's gonna freak the hell out. I know I would. It has its Hydras, and of course everything else is the same, you know, same AGM-114s. But I'm curious, let's make a very practical loadout, one that you would want to take out. Let's see, we'll do air to air right here. And then the rest of these will be that. Okay, that's cool. So you get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total Hellfires and 4 Stinger missiles on this stealthy platform. That's gonna make things interesting. Also, check this out. Let me take a look at the loadout one more time. Here are the Stingers. That's awesome. I really love the internal bay. Although, what you can do if you really want to and play very stealthy, you can just carry up to the 4 Hellfires and the 4 Stingers, and you get to play anti-air as well as somewhat anti-ground duty. But with this loadout, will this remain at 11.3? I'm sure it will, but oh boy, it's getting really close to that 12-0 territory, just saying. So I'm going to go ahead and combine these two nations because they got some relatively simple additions added into the game. Now, seeing that I don't play around this BR, nor have I heard anyone talk about how they play around this BR, I'm going to go ahead and say on a whim that not many people like to play these areas, but I have to talk about them anyways. We have the VTB-10, which is a 1.0 vessel here. And then Britain, I was going to say Germany, with the MTB-460. It's another boat. I mean, this is cool, actually. It's got some good firepower. I don't play around here. I know it's a lot more enjoyable than some of the bigger stuff. It's like arcade on crack almost. But unfortunately, you won't be finding me down here. Now, let's go over to the next nation, which happens to... Actually, I'm trying to look at my list here. I think that does it. So now we've gotten to the part where I'm going to be talking about the new SPAAs coming into the game, and I don't think many of you guys are going to like this one. I know I didn't when I first heard it, and that is a slight nerf from what we saw previously. Now, starting off with the German variant of the IRST TEDs, we have a nerf to the main missile here. Instead of having its 60G overload and 1,000 meters a second maximum speed, it was brought down to 710 with a maximum G overload of 40. And here's the thing I did forget to mention at the beginning with the helicopters. I think this might actually affect helicopters as a whole, because once the missile makes its terminal stage of going for the interception, of course, the DIRCM is likely going to dazzle the missile and defeat it. There's a possibility about it because this isn't just a fully data linked entirely all the way through missile system, at least not right now in the game. So helicopters like the ones I mentioned before are likely going to be able to defeat this quite well. Is that true? I have no idea. We'll have to really wait and see, but this really isn't too fun in my opinion. Also, the Israelis and their Spider system did finally get the Python 5, which is interesting. Same 710 meters a second. Is this accurate? Probably not. I have no idea, but bear with me here, guys. 50G maximum overload. Wow, that's nuts. No, seriously, this is going to be awesome. And then, of course, the Derby. You know, we all know the Derby anyways. 825 meters a second, 40G overload, radar guided, 80-kilometer launch range. That is nuts. And I believe the American variant of the, well, this actually got modeled as well. Let me see the AIM-9X. Yeah, 1,000 meters a second. I think I already mentioned this in the previous video, but let's do it anyways again. 60G overload, 12-kilometer launch range. It doesn't say anything about rear aspect or whatnot, so I'm pretty sure it's a 9X after all, thrust vectoring, which is going to be fun. But let's look at the Swedish variant. Did they do anything to this? Let me see here. Oh, I don't know why I clicked on that. Right here, my mistake. The RBS 98, 710, 50G overload. Oh boy, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. This is the dev server after all. What about the Chinese? I know last time they had a placeholder for theirs for the FB10, the FB10A, and it doesn't really look like this. I don't think it is it? Let me go ahead and equip this really quick. I love that feature. Gaijin, you did really well with that one. I don't believe this is true. I could be entirely wrong. It might still be using the same info from the ZBD. Or not the ZBD. I'm all over the place right now. What's the damn thing called? PGZ. Gosh, listen, I love my ZBD, okay? Did not mean to mistake you with the SPAA, but really, it's I don't know if this is true or not. Please let me know in the comments. I really have no more comments on the matter because, you know, I'm excited for this thing, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like this, but you never know. Oh, and one more thing. I nearly forgot this actually, but first a quick rant. Gaijin just updated the dev, which is cool, right? I thought, yay, some new stuff. I figured out it was just some new boat stuff. I won't get into that. But what it did do is it crashed my game. And I could not relaunch the game for the life of me. So I had to reinstall the entire client, delete it, restart, reinstall, and it's not even the high fidelity one. We're sitting on the base. So yeah, kind of love dev server stuff. I'll fix it a little bit later. But going back on is we did get new AMRAAMs for existing aircraft. I don't know all of them that got it, but I know for a fact that the F-15 is one of the few that also got access to the AIM-120C variants. 120 kilometer launch range. I believe it was 180 the first time we saw it, or was it 120? It's one of the two. Is this going to improve everything? I don't know. I don't play ARB that much. Let me know, please, in the comments if this is going to change up anything. I believe the F-18 late also got access to it. Did any of the F-16s? They did not. Yeah, also the Typhoons got them too, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, check it out right here. And it's blue too. Very nice. Oh, nice to see existing aircraft getting new modules, which means you don't have to grind through a whole new aircraft. Imagine another variant of the Typhoon you got to grind through. Woo, that would have been annoying, but yeah. But of course, there are more things I did miss, and I just found out recently that we're getting BR changes pretty quick. Holy crap. Yeah, I'll talk more about that in its own video. And apparently an F-35, not the F-35 we all know and love, something for Sweden. It might be a premium. More info about that as it drops. I thought when I heard it, like, holy crap, an F-35 already? But no, it's not the one you think. But unless I missed something, which I'm sure I did, I believe that does it. Yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think about some of these new changes. I know Gaijin is bringing in a lot of premiums. I mean, hey, listen, it's good for me, right? I got my discount link. I get a paycheck, sure, but oh man, these updates are just, whew, more premiums. Hey, you know what? More power to you. If you want to skip the grind a little bit, there you go. You have the means to do so. But still, let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. And if you did enjoy this talking head video, please let me know as well. I'd love to know your feedback on this so I can continue improving these videos, of course. And if you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, subscribe. It does help me out quite a bit. I'm gunning for that 150K mark, which I'll do another Q&A video. I've set it to that, which should be a lot of fun. So again, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Thank you again, and I will see you not only in the next video or even the streams, but most certainly in the new upcoming Leviathan updates. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my Switch 2. So I'll see you next time.